Welcome back, Devils fans. It is your host, Ace, here on Running with the Devils, where we are talking New Jersey Devils hockey all season long. Please subscribe, smash the like button, share with a friend. Thank you very much. And we are now on to one of my favorite things of the year, actually. This came out yesterday. I didn't get around to it, so I'm going to do it today. NHL schedule release day, the day I flip through the calendar, see what potential road trips I want to go on, what games I'd like to attend at home, and let's get into it. October, as you all know, we are starting off with back-to-back games in Czechia against the Buffalo Sabres on October 4th and 5th. We're going to see an old friend in Lindy Ruff, and hopefully we get 2 wins to start off the season. Lindy got axed here. He's in Buffalo. We will see him, first things first, October 4th and 5th. Then we have a few days off before we come home for the home opener against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Sheldon Keefe will be looking to get a big win against his former club that gave him the axe before we picked him up after their playoff flop. A couple days later, in Washington, Alexander Ovechkin obviously will be going to continue on the road of chasing Wayne Gretzky's goal record. I don't think he's going to do it this season. I think it'll take one more season after that, but we will be going to Washington to play Ovechkin and the Caps on the 12th. And then on the 14th, the first ever matchup of the New Jersey Devils and the Utah Hockey Club. I am not sure who thought this was a good idea. I can't imagine, this had to be in the works for a while. You have to have a team name. You can't just call yourselves Utah Hockey Club. I think it's terrible. I think their jerseys are kind of lame. I like their color scheme, but man, for Utah fans, just pick a damn name and give them a real logo. The next day, in Carolina against the Canes. The 17th, we play the Sens in Ottawa against my favorite player in the league that's not wearing a Devils jersey currently, Brady Tkachuk. And, man, I wish we got that, man. And then we see Ovechkin again on the 19th in New Jersey. And it's not going to be too many more Ovechkin appearances, so I'll probably try to get to that. Ovechkin's a living legend. I've seen him tons of times live over the years. I want to see him on this nearly farewell tour, so I'll probably check that out. Tuesday the 22nd, at home against the Lightning, minus their captain, Steven Stamkos, who's departed for greener pastures in Nashville. Then we're on the road the 24th against Detroit, and then at home the 25th against the Islanders. Always interesting when we play the Islanders. And then Sunday the 27th, at home against the Ducks. Wednesday the 30th, at Vancouver for the second annual Hughes Bowl, where all the Hughes brothers will be playing in that game. To start off the road trip, Friday the 1st in Calgary. Markstrom will be looking to get a big win against his former club there. Monday, November 4th, at the Connor McDavid's, the Edmonton Oilers and the Western Conference champion Oilers. Always love watching McDavid, obviously. That should be a good one. Then at home, Thursday the 7th against the Canadiens. Saturday the 9th, Islanders. Sunday the 10th at home, we will welcome back Tyler Toffoli as a San Jose Shark. And then this one I thought was interesting. You don't see this too often. On the road for 2 games against Florida. The 12th and 14th against the Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers. I've always wanted to see a game in Florida. It's never aligned with my schedule. And this one during the week probably won't happen either. And then we wrap up the Florida trip Saturday the 16th against the Lightning. Have 4 days off. Come home 21st against Carolina. 23rd back in D.C. against the Caps. And then we come home on the 25th against Nashville. The 27th against St. Louis. 29th on the road against the Red Wings. And then back home on the 30th. To play the Caps. That's 2 early appearances by Ovechkin. We're going to see him twice at home in the first 2 months of the season. Then we get to December, and here it is. The one we've all been waiting for, and I honestly think it's a shame on the schedule makers that it's not coming for 2 full months into the season. I like to see one of these early. Monday, December 2nd at the Garden, New York Rangers, must-see TV. Let's get it. Let's get it. I expect that to be a high-intensity one. I might try to go to the Garden for that. My only pause with going to the Garden is their fans are such scumbags. And if someone starts a fight with me, your boy Ace isn't going to back down. I'll chuck him. I'll chuck him on the road. And I don't want to go to jail in my old age. Generally speaking, I try to stay out of holding cells, and so I got to see. I really do want to go to that one. Then at home, Friday the 6th against the Kraken. Home on the 8th against the Avalanche. It's a nice little homestand here. The 10th against the Leafs. The 12th against the Kings. The 14th against the Blackhawks. The Connor Bedard Show comes to town. And then we're back on the road. 17th against the Blues. 19th against Columbus. Back at home on the 21st to host the Pittsburgh Penguins and Sidney Crosby. And he's another one. If you've never seen Sid live, I mean, you still have some time, but chances are running low here. He's coming towards the end. I highly recommend, if you haven't seen Sid live, go check out the Penguins when they come to town because, Sid is an all-time great. Absolute legend. And there it is, the first Rangers home game right before Christmas, December 23rd. And that one will be electric as well. Hopefully we see a lot of violent gentlemen out there doing their thing. Friday the 27th against the Canes. The next day, Saturday, on the road against the Canes, a little home and home right there, before finishing up on New Year's Eve night for the calendar year, wrapping it up in Anaheim on New Year's Eve night, 8 p.m. our time. And now we turn the page to 2025, continuing out west. Wednesday the 1st against the Kings. Saturday the 4th against the Sharks. Monday the 6th against the Kraken. And then we come back to the East Coast against the Rangers on the 9th. Come back home on the 11th to host the Lightning. The Stanley Cup champions make their first visit on the 14th. Back on the road for the 16th against the Leafs. Home for a few here. Flyers on the 18th. Sens on the 19th. And our boy Brady, 22nd against the Bruins. Back out on the road, 25th against the Canadiens. 27th against the Flyers. And then back home for the Flyers on the 29th. And maybe that Montreal Saturday game on the road could be one for your boy Ace to hit up. I'm going to have to really comb through this. We go to February 2nd at Buffalo and our friend Lindy. The 4th at Pittsburgh. Return home. Host the Golden Knights on the 6th. Back on the road in Montreal on the 8th. Then we have that nice little break here for the Four Nations tournament. That's going to be unbelievable. I've talked about this. Best on best tournament. Love to see it. Four Nations face-off is going to be great. Jack should definitely be on the USA team, I'd imagine. And that list will, I guess, come out. I'm not sure when. They announced the first few players. Jack wasn't on that, but I'm sure he'll be on the next one. First game after the break at home, the 22nd against the Stars. And then we're back on the road Sunday the 23rd against Nashville, the 26th against the Avalanche. March 1st, Utah Hockey Club, Vegas Golden Knights on the 2nd, Dallas on the 4th. Then we see Winnipeg on the 7th at home, back on the road against the Flyers on the 9th, home for Columbus on the 11th. The Oilers on the 13th, the Connor McDavid Show coming to New Jersey. I will definitely be there. This guy is a freak show. I'm a big Connor McDavid guy. Always go to see him when he comes to town. I'll definitely be there for that. March 15th at Pittsburgh. March 17th at Columbus. March 20th, we host the Flames. The 22nd, hosting the Sens. The 24th, hosting the Canucks in another Hughes Bowl. 26th at Chicago. 28th at Winnipeg. 29th at Minnesota. 31st, return home for Minnesota to wrap up that home and home. And this is where it gets real interesting. We get down to April here, and 6 of the last 7 games overall for the Devils are home games, and this could be huge for either making the playoffs, which is hopefully not the case, or hopefully to win the division. 6 of the last 7 games are home, 5 of the last 6 in April, and we're home on the 5th against the Rangers, the 8th against the Bruins, the 11th against the Pens, 13th against the Islanders, at Boston on the 15th, and back home for the season finale on the 16th against the Red Wings. And anytime you could finish, they have all these conference games backloaded for sure, and 6 of our last 7 are at home. And the last 6 games of the season are all conference opponents. This could really matter for playoffs. As you saw last year, it came down to the last day of the season. I think with the loser point, we're going to consistently see this type of thing where games up to the very end matter for either seeding or teams to make the playoffs or not. And having 6 of the last 7 games at home is a great advantage for the Devils. We got screwed last year with a league-high amount of back-to-backs. This year, I think we have 12 or so. and we're kind of middle of the pack in terms of amount of back-to-backs. Unfortunately, with the schedule, they're unavoidable, and we have to get better this year at back-to-backs. Last year, we were absolute dog shit in the second game of back-to-backs. That cannot happen this season, and 6 of the last 7 at home to finish up the season, and it could be big. That could be a huge stretch for us to win the division or, for seeding. Look forward to the season. I'm going to skim through here to see what games I'm going to try to get to on the road. But I'll obviously be at a ton of home games, and I'm going to try to make at least a couple road games as well. But let me know in the comments, what games are you guys most excited for? Do you guys plan on going any road trips? If so, which ones? Which games are you going to go support? Got to support the team on the road. Who are you guys going to go what cities are you guys going to go see them on the road? And anything else, Devils hockey, throw it out there in the comments. I will be back soon. Lots going on. Love you all. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends. Let's go, Devils.